gonna quickly introduce App Club. So who are we, right? We're a global student nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting and empowering students all across the world to be able to really make a meaningful impact on the world. We believe everyone, no matter who you are or where you are, can create a meaningful app that can really dedicate to a positive change in the world. We want everyone to become an innovator and tomorrow's leader. So right now in our community, we offer courses, lectures, and also host opportunities such as this K12 AI Initiative, where we bring students to really empower them and be able to experience, what is the industry like? In this amazing GenAI Summit, we're able to really look at what the industry is doing, firsthand, right? All right, so I'm gonna give everyone a minute to scan the QR code and check out our Discord server. Yeah, and we really believe everyone can become a future innovators, so that's why we really want to share this opportunity with everyone. Okay, so what is generative AI? Right, I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with these logos right over here. Midjourney, ChatGPT, Gemini, Google, right? And Midjourney being a famous, Stable Diffusion AI art generation, right? So, what is really generative AI? What is considered generative AI? What makes it different from AGI, right? So, what it is essentially generating new content based off of its input data set. So, basically you just train on a large, data set. That's why, LLMs are called large language models. You have to train on a massive data set of text, pictures, or meaningful data, depending on what kind of model you're trying to build. But the whole point about generative AI and why it's called generative is because you're trying to generate new content, whether it's text, pictures, images, or even videos with OpenAI Sora, right? All right. So now, how would you really make generative AI model, right? If I'm trying to code a model myself, what steps would I take to really make it happen? So first of all, data. Since generative AI is basically based off of the data collection is a key and major factor that determines the quality of your AI model. So in the data collection process, you really want to collect diverse and important data that will be meaningful to whatever AI you're trying to build. But this session is intended for students and the audience, so I don't expect to go too much in detail. So now moving on, I want to talk about some popular AI architectures. I'm pretty sure everyone here knows Transformers. I'm pretty sure there's some people here, a few days ago, I know there's a Llama Workshop. And also, we got GONs, which is Generative Adversarial Networks, VAEs, Variational Autoencoders, and RNNs and RCMs, which are, recurrent neural networks and long short-term memory. Right? So now moving forward, we were going to future trend in generative AI. So I don't want to keep me just talking about generative AI that long because by far I'm no expert. There are a bunch of Stanford students that were coming yesterday and we hosted an amazing panel. So I don't think I'll be qualified to go really that in depth about it, but I do believe I'll be able to talk about some of my personal opinions on what I think the future trend of AI will be. First of all, as for a K12 AI Initiative, I believe we're going to talk about AI education and regulation. So right now, a lot of schools are either basically, banning the use of ChatGPT, prevent plagiarism, or some other schools where they endorse such message and be we encourage you to use ChatGPT, but this is a very controversial topic, right? We don't know what is right or what is wrong. But what I do believe is going to happen is the eventual AI integration into the school system because it's almost impossible to prevent the complete exposure to AI with how famous and popular it is already. And another thing, I guess a lot of people might be saying oh, AI is mostly based on mathematical algorithm and stuff like that, right? Okay, so we're going to reach a limit. For example, ChatGPT is 4.5 new models. It's costing around $11 million to run every single day. Do you think that's sustainable? Yeah, sure. But what about in the future? Eventually, if we keep moving, make more and more higher level models, eventually we're going to reach a breaking point, right? The first AI winter, where the computer chip was not strong enough to handle the computational powers behind the AI models. So in this case, I want to think about ways to reformat the architecture to make it more computational cost effective. How we can do this? Perhaps we can do something we can use more advanced mathematical algorithms such as differential geometry and using Gaussian distribution to improve the distribution method to make it basically find the probabilities of which is the best outcome easier. But eventually we're gonna run out of ideas. So then but let's think about something that we all have. The very amazing gift that everyone has here. So it's pretty obvious. Neuromorphic computing, the combination of neuroscience and AI. How can we model the AI architecture to be more adapted to how our brain works? Our brain processes information so like billions of nodes per second. We don't even know how it's possible at doing that. And neuroscientists never figured out what really consciousness is, right? So what if we try to model off of them, right? What if we try to learn about the brain and how it's able to process memory the way it is, and how we can structure our AI architecture to model a similar structure, right? Another thing is also the structure of how we can improve the data structure, the data representation, like the input data of the AI, to make it so the AI it's kind of loud on the backside, but how can we structure the AI where it's better able to understand what it really is? Because right now it's just trying to basically scratch the patterns rather than actually trying to understand what it is. If we're able to transcribe the input into actual language where the AI can understand, it will cause another major shift in the AI industry. But in general, I do believe neuromorphic computing, from a personal standpoint, I do believe it will be a very important field in the future, and quoted by Jensen Huang, neuroscience will be at the intersection between AI. Lastly, multimodality, right? Combination of different data sets, different forms of data sets in order to, create outcomes. For example, if I have a speech input and a video output, so like that. And how can we combine it to even more than just two data sets for multimodality, more multimodality and versatility in the AI models? So I believe that will also be a field. I'm pretty sure everyone in the generative AI field are currently working on this, how can we improve reach and also inputs to make it to be more fit for more type of data set, so we have an all-in-one tool, kind of. One reason why we're hosting this MIT App Inventor Workshop is one, because we believe MIT App Inventor is an amazing application for students to really get into coding. Right? Once you have the computational thinking down, once you understand one language, it's very easy to transcribe to another language, rather than you don't understand anything until you get started. So now I'll be passing the mic to Michelle Ying, who is also the 2022 MIT Summer Hackathon first place individual winner.
Thank you, Tony, for the introduction. So hi again, I'm Michelle, or Suan Yang, and I'm an officer of App Inc Club, as well as 2022 MIT first place for youth individual. And we will now be looking at how generative AI can be used in MIT App Inventor. So before delving in, I'll quickly explain MIT App Inventor to anyone who's unfamiliar with it. It's a free open source platform that allows anyone to create mobile apps. And the platform setup enables users to activate effective change in their communities using apps without having to learn the complex code they usually have to learn to create apps. And if you have a device on actually right now and would like to check out the site for yourself, just search up MIT App Inventor and it should be the first thing that pops up. Okay, so since its creation in 2010, App Inventor has become the largest app development tool for global education. It is 18 million learners from over 200 different countries and regions, 48% of which are from the developing world, and 100 million apps have been created using this platform. Here's an example of AI text generation using App Inventor, and this is one of the screens from my app EcoPlate that I used for the 2022 MIT Summer Hackathon. It combines App Inventor with ChatGPT to generate a custom eco-friendly recipe based on the user's diet. And this is done through importing an OpenAI extension and API keys. Okay, so next we have an example of AI image generation, which is also using App Inventor. And this screen was also taken from the same app, and it uses DALL-E for the image generation. And to sum it all up, as stated before, MIT App Inventor is the largest app development tool for global education. And so here are some reasons why it has been able to grow to have the impact that it does today. So it is first and foremost a very inclusive platform, as it features a simple drag and drop interface, making it easy for use for all levels. And in addition, the quick prototyping, testing, which as a result allows for efficient community impact. And furthermore, as shown in the last two slides with my app, It allows for easy implementation of machine learning models and AI functionalities. And the platform's educational focus also enables students to easily access practice for designing and computational thinking. And last but not least, MIT App Inventor's strong community with educators and students allows users to get the help they need and feel at home with the community. And now with that, I will pass off the presentation to Zihan, who is a fellow officer of App In Club.
My name is Zihan Lee, and today I'll be helping you guys engage in the essentials of stable diffusion. We'll have 3 interactive activities today, and let's dive right in. All right, so we're gonna dive into a concept that's not just theoretical, but highly practical in a world of startups. And I know a lot of you guys have seen the leaders talk here about their startups, and they're all CEOs, right? And let's see how understanding stable diffusion can help you navigate through uncertainty and drive growth. So we're gonna begin with our first interactive activity. Can those of you with phones out, please scan the QR code, and we're gonna walk through a little demo on stable diffusion models. I have a tab out here. You can follow along if you want. But we're gonna choose stable diffusion models 1.4. Oh, go back? Yeah, I got you. Here we go. Give you guys a few seconds. I'll give you guys 1 minute. All right. Now that you guys have gone to huggingface.co, please choose either stable diffusion 1.4 or stable diffusion 2, so you guys can see how an app performs. And please choose an adjective, and right below it choose a career. And I'll choose let's go ambitious and accountant. All right, and it'll generate a couple images on the left side. And if we go on the right side, we'll choose stable diffusion 2. And we'll choose another adjective. We'll go with a confident bus driver, right? And take a few seconds to load. Actually, it'll take a while to load. But on the left side, we can see how stochastic processes are integrated with image generation with stable diffusion models, right? You can see that on the small random changes that I was talking about, right? You can see that the facial features are a little bit different every image. The color of their suits, what they're wearing, the pose is different. But the overall image, right, the overall pattern is stable in that it generates images of people that look nerdy, smart, and professional, and it gives the image that they are accountants, right? And if we go to the right side, which it has just finished generating, the random changes that we were talking about before, right? In this case, there's more diversity to their ethnicities. They have different clothes, right? But overall, it shows a person and a bus, giving the image that it's a bus driver, right? And let me go back to this. So basically what I'm trying to say is that when you generate these images after a very long time, generate multiple images over and over again, you'll see that there are some biases, right? And that leads me to my next point, which is so as leaders and in technology and innovation, right, it's important for us to understand these 6 potential major ethical pitfalls in stable diffusion models or image generation models in general. And the first one is reinforcement of stereotypes. Since stable diffusion models learn from vast data sets, which often contain historical biases, if not carefully managed, these models can perpetuate and amplify to harmful stereotypes relating race, gender, and other characteristics, right? That's why it's important for us to carefully manage data when training algorithms. And a second ethical concern is manipulation of information, right? Since these models can generate highly realistic text, images and videos, it makes them powerful tools for both good and ill. There's a risk that they could be used to create harmful fake news, deepfakes, or it could distort reality and even sow discord in our society, right? And the next ethical concern is improper use of personal data. Because there's so much data when training algorithms, right? It may contain personal data, and that's why we need to make sure that people are using data responsibly. Because if they don't use and handle data properly, right, it could lead to data breaches. It could lead to people having stolen identities or stolen information, which is really bad. And another point that I want to touch on is the infringement of artists' rights. Because these models can generate content that mimics the style of other artists and specific artists, right? Potentially, and most likely without their permission, this can lead to unauthorized use of intellectual property, and we need to be able to respect these artists, right? And especially when we're making our own content on YouTube or on social media, right? We need to credit other artists and other artists, creators of content, so that there's no conflict between individuals. Now I'd like to move on to our next interactive activity that primes our engagement again with AI. And we'll be following this prompt, which is, we will be making a dream board of our imagined future using generative AI. Let your imagination run wild and think of a vision you wish to fulfill. If your AI was timeless, what would the world look like in the future? It could be a place, activity, or person in a way that you have imagined. And please use the following prompts as a source of inspiration. Please, you can include who's in the stream, where are you, what are you doing, and what are some extra visual details you can add. And what we're going to do is we're going to feed your prompt into an open art link, and then we will save that as a screenshot and upload it onto a discussion post that is on Padlet. And if you go to the next slide, for examples, if we look at 3 online users generated images on OpenArt, we can see that some prompts are very specific and very long. As for the left side, we can see that it says highly detailed illustration, futuristic utopian city, blah, 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 blah. While the second image can be very short, right? It's just a white fantasy starship over a jungle planet Final Fantasy. So it's up to your creativity to what you want to do and what you want to enter into the prompt. Next slide. And can you guys please take your phones out and scan the 2 following QR codes. The right QR code leads to an open art link where you can log in via Google or Discord, and you can enter your prompt and generate an image. From there, you can screenshot, save the image, and upload it onto the second QR code on the left side, onto the Padlet. And I'd like some of you guys, or as many of you guys if you can, to upload your image and provide the prompt that you have used to generate the image. And I'll give you guys a few minutes to do so. We have our first upload. However, there's no image. So I noticed that some of you guys uploaded images with very, very vivid and detailed prompts, right? And like this, for example, this person, it said, they just copied and pasted the entire prompt from our slides, which is okay. But this shows how AI generation can lead to high levels of detail and show how specific descriptions can lead to more complex visuals, right? You can see that this girl right here is very realistic, but it's only AI generated, right? And also for some of you who had very short descriptions, right? AI is very cool in that it can take abstract concepts and show its own interpretations of it, right? We can see that it's more interpretive, right? It has a cat is knocking things off the table. And this also shows AI, especially stable diffusion models, versatility. And thank you for those of you who participated in this. And sorry for the inconvenience of uploading onto Padlet. In our last interactive activity, we'll be moving into the fascinating and sometimes controversial world of deepfakes. Understanding deepfakes is very essential in this day and age, as the line between reality and artificiality can become blurred, right? And deepfakes is a combination of deep learning and fake. And the term deepfake originates reflecting its origins in machine learning algorithms that learn and replicate patterns. But before we understand deepfakes fully, we need to understand what deep learning is. So I'm going to start with the analogous story to help everyone learn what exactly deepfake is. So imagine we have a pet. Oh, and also, who here wants to name this pet? Raise your hand if you want to name this pet. If not, I'll give it a name. You, little one. Who? What? Never gonna give you up. All right, we'll go with that one. All right. Also, raise your hand if you love learning. Okay, some of you. That's good, that's good. I don't know about the people that didn't raise their hands, but I personally love learning. That's why I'm here at this conference, to learn about all these different startups and stuff. But imagine we have a pet robot named Never Gonna Give You Up. And Never Gonna Give You Up loves learning new things, just like some of us. But instead of learning from books and classrooms, Never Gonna Give You Up learns from lots and lots of examples, right? So let's talk about deep learning a little bit. It's like giving Never Gonna Give You Up a superpower to learn really complicated stuff all by itself. And deep learning is a special kind of learning where you learn things step by step, and it really models how our own brain works. So here's how it works. Imagine you want to teach Never Gonna Give You Up to recognize different kinds of animals. Instead of telling Never Gonna Give You Up, this is a dog and this is a cat, we tell Never Gonna Give You Up thousands of pictures, and we tell it what each one is. Now at first, Never Gonna Give You Up is gonna be really, really bad, right? It might make some mistakes. But here's the cool part. After each mistake, Robo learns from its mistake and adjusts its brain a little bit by little bit, right? And, but wait, there's more. Deep learning is not called deep in that it's a complicated, it's not called deep only because it's a really complicated topic, right? It's called deep learning because it has lots and lots of layers that process information. And these layers help Never Gonna Give You Up tell that pet different things about the image, right? It might say different visual features or the different like details of an image, right? So by the time Never Gonna Give You Up goes to the last layer, it's really, really good at telling animals apart. And Never Gonna Give You Up is also gonna be able to tell you what an animal is, even if it's never seen it. And that's the magic of deep learning. So back to deepfakes. Deepfakes are created by training on large data sets of real media. The algorithm learns to mimic the features and patterns of the original data, allowing it to generate new synthetic material such as audio, video, or images that is highly realistic but fake. And this process typically involves generative adversarial networks, which pit two neural networks to fight against each other, as Tony said, to create higher quality content. And one of the most common uses that we'll be taking a look at is video. Because we are running out of time, I'm going to be hurrying up my presentation a little bit more. So we're going to begin with, I'm going to show you guys 3 pairs of videos. And one of the videos will be real, and the other video will be mimicked by deepfake technology. And you guys are gonna guess which one is real and which one is fake based off of these few seconds of clip. No audio, no. And here's the tip. Try to notice the lighting and shadows, right? Usually the face is really well defined. However, properties such as the background may not be as polished. So you can also look at hair and skin inconsistencies as well. So I'll play these really quick. Try to notice behavioral patterns as well. Now, of course, it'll be hard to know which one is real unless you've actually seen the real video, right? But the point is here to show you how realistic deepfakes can be with the real video. So, can everybody raise their hands if you think the left video is real and the right video is fake? Okay, all of you. Now raise your hand if you think the other way. Okay, more of you. Okay. And the second option is correct. Good job. All right, next one.
Yeah, thank you so much for Zihong telling us about leading this interactive workshop. I hope everyone was having fun and really interacting with these AI tools in your hands, right? Really generating your own images and looking at these deepfakes, right? Really. So, what can this really mean, right? Obviously, with AI and generative AI, it brings many benefits. With so much tools that can streamline so much processes, right? It makes life easier. Apps are made to help you with your daily tasks. It really simplifies and it basically makes the processes much more simple. You don't have to do so much. However, the risk, right? Because of ChatGPT, also in general AI models, hallucinations, and it's the margin of error. We have to really be careful with looking at the responses. You have to have the understanding already, so you're not just listening to everything that's given to you. So that's just something you have to consider. Obviously, with deepfake and all those stuff, it really causes privacy concerns and all those kind of issues. But regardless of all those issues, we definitely need to address them properly, make sure everyone's well informed, and so we don't have further and more elaborate issues. However, I do believe that AI in the future will be, in general, beneficial to the community. Hopefully it is, okay? No one knows if it's going to be harmful or beneficial, but it's up to you guys and us, the future generation, to make it beneficial, right? Enjoy the summit. And thank you for taking the time to really be here and, choose us, right?